Right, welcome to the funcast of the 1v1 between Timmer, Prince, Z-Lord and Slacker 999. As we can see, the teams are, I think, is Prince and Slacker 999, the Z-Lord and Timmer 23. As we can see, Z-Lord's going for the Seraphim factory with 4 power generators, 2 mexes and a air factory. If we go and have a look at see what Timmer's doing, Timmer's gone for an early Cyber and T1 air, followed by 3 power generators, followed by 4 mexes, followed by, just on the right hand side, 3 more power generators and a land factory. If we look down to the bottom right hand side of the map, we see Prince, who is Eon, gone for a land factory. Already had 2 engineers up, building his 3rd power generator, also using his engineer to produce mass extractors. As we look, this map is notoriously good for the mass in the middle. As we can see, the mass in the middle is notoriously nice for the players. It's got 4 mass points, but on every corner there is a T1 PD. We have civilian buildings in the middle, which is good for reclaim, and we also have 2 power generators. If we look on the left hand side of the map, we have Slacker with a T1 and land scout, which see if there's any incoming scouts and strike forces. But we do have Z-Lord, who has a T1 tank heading down. As we can clearly see, we have Slacker 999 going for the mass in the middle. Z-Lord and Timmer 23 doesn't seem to be too interested in the mass in the middle. Neither does Prince. So if we look at the map control overall, we see Z-Lord has the most engineers out and the most units out. Timmer isn't that far away, but he hasn't captured all the mass points. We see Prince as well. We also see Slacker, who's got most of it. If we look on the left hand side of the map, we have Slacker's ACU trying to intercept a T1 medium tank by Z-Lord. So at the moment not much is going on, as we can clearly see, but the main focus and talking point will be what happens in the middle. As we look on the left hand side of the map, we see Z-Lord pushing with his issue down the left hand side. We also see a T1 radar system just on the top of Slacker's base to see if anything that Slacker is doing, so Z-Lord can counter it straight away without having any problems. But if we look on the right hand side of the map, we also see Timmer has a T1 gunship up, so that'll be aiming for any mass extractors and engineers that he can shoot down without being shot down himself. But he is diverted into the middle of the base. There we go, he started firing, he shot down the radar system already, and he's now diverting itself to engineers. Prince obviously has no idea that was coming, so he's now shooting at the engineers. Prince does have 3 anti-air units up now, so Timmer is diverting the gunship away so that won't get hit, but he'll still be trying to do some damage while he's doing that. As we can see, he's diverted it just over on to the left hand side. He's killing another engineer from Prince, so that's 5 kills. That'll be 6 kills on it so far. As we can see, he's going for another mass point of Prince's. Nope, he's gone straight over that. No, nope, he hasn't. He's starting to attack it again. So if we look at the gunship, 5 kills, 1 star veterancy. As we look at the T1 mass extractor, it's down to 200 health, going to 100 health, and that is now being killed. So that's another +2 mass going from Prince's income due to that. As we look at Prince's base, he's got a hell of a lot of anti-air units up there, but they're not going to be any useful in his base because he's got gunships on the on both left and right hand side of his bases. As we can see at the bottom, Prince is diverting that gunship over to Slacker's base. He's now shooting at the T1 engineer, which is now killed. So that T1 engineer is now being killed. So, but Slacker does have 2 anti-air units coming from the top left to try and combat that and shoot it down. But the gunship is now on 8 kills, so that's 2-star veterancy. But the gunship is now moving left, as we can clearly see to the left hand side, right underneath his base, shooting at the mechs, but then shooting at the engineer. So as we see the engineer trying to move off, we'll see it getting shot at by the gunship, unless he's completely nope, he's completely moved the gunship over to the right, to the top left of Slacker's base. Probably see if he can shoot at his ACU. Yep. Timmer is using the gunship to shoot at Slacker's ACU, but that'll take a hell of a lot of gunships to kill an ACU, especially that low damage. As we look at the overall map control, we see Z-Lord which is currently in the middle of the base of the free reclaiming mass civilian area. So that's going to give him a hell of a lot of mass boost. If we look over on the right hand side, we see Tim has already started to do T2 hoplites, so they'll start doing some serious damage to Prince's base. As we can see, he's still building gunships. He's still got another gunship in the way, but on the left hand side with the gunship that is attacking Slacker's ACUs is getting shot down by a T1 interceptor. So unless Z-Lord has an interceptor built to shoot that down, that probably won't be the case, but he's moving the gunships inward, which is currently getting shut down by the 2 T1 air units there. But the gunships are going after the engineers. One of the 3 have already been killed. The second one's being killed now. The third survived just. So if we look at this, if we look at overall map control, we've got Timmer on the right hand side rushing T2, and everything that's over there is just T1 anti-air, so that's going to be very damaging for Prince. So yep, Prince has now retreated his T1 anti-air. Timmer's retreating his T2 units with just by Prince using the T1 Aurora. Prince is trying to do too much with his economy but he doesn't have the economy to support that, which is a real shame. But as we see on the Slacker's base, Z-Lord is rushing T1 medium tanks, so they'll just start shooting at free will on there. Slacker has pulled his ACU back, so Slacker's ACU is going back to try and deal with all them. Slacker has admitted defeat and given all of his units to Prince. So all the eco that Slacker has, Prince has now got. So that'll give Prince a lot more to do. Prince is upgrading his ACU. Looks like a gun. Looks like the gun or a tech upgrade is going on Prince's ACU. Prince is driving away the T2 hoplites with the load of T1 anti-air. Don't know how the hell he's doing that though, but weirdly enough it's happening. Slacker's ACU is down to 3,000 health. Z-Lord's units is slowly getting killed, but obviously not being killed by much. Slacker's ACU is down to 2,000 health. We may see Slacker go. Oh, we have got a T2 interceptor up, which is just bombed on Slacker's ACU. So unless Slacker gets another 2 kills, his ACU will go boom on the next pass. As we watch Slacker's ACU now, it is going boom. Slacker has been killed by Z-Lord's T2 gunship, T2 interceptor. Now it's just Prince versus Timmer and Z-Lord. As we look in the middle, there was a lot of buildings, civilian buildings and T2 power gens. As we can see, Z-Lord has just completely reclaimed them. By reclaiming that, he's upgraded all of his mass extractors to T2, and he's using all of his engineers on his T2 air factory to pump out T2 bombers, which will do a lot of damage. Yep, Prince did go the gun on his ACU, as we see him walking straight to Timmer's base. This is probably going to be a suicide run. This will be a suicide run by the looks of it. So as we see Prince's ACU slowly making his way up to Timmer's base, we see Timmer who's using a T2 power generator with T2 mass fabs. We can also see that he's using T2 engineers to build two T2 point defenses, so that'll severely damage Prince's ACU. As we can see, Z-Lord has found out where Prince's ACU is heading, and is using the load of T2 bombers to find, locate and destroy. Z-Lord has any land units that is available to him to try and sort this out, but as we can see, Z-Lord has located Prince and is now beginning a bombing run, but obviously none of the bombs dropped. But as we can see, they've come back for the second and they're now dropping bombs. Each T2 interceptor bomb takes around about 2,000 HP off the ACU of Prince. So